Hey, real quick before we dive in, if you're a woman in midlife who's tired of the cliches and ready to live out loud, we're glad you're here.
Because you are definitely in the right place. We're not here to age gracefully. We're here to age boldly. So if you love real talk, big laughs, and the occasional spicy truth bomb, make sure to follow us on TikTok at Spicy Midlife Women for even more unfiltered midlife magic. Hey, let's get into it, Michelle. What are we talking about today?
Let's do it. Well, talking about midlife, go figure.
Shock and surprise.
Yeah, but how it's more than just, about hot flashes, hormone swings. Because when you think of midlife, I think menopause is totally attached to it. I mean, it's valid.
There's a lot of our listeners out there that haven't even started experiencing this yet, though.
Yeah.
So, oh boy, are you in for a treat.
Or they don't know they have.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Yeah.
But it's also about the wild, weird, and kind of unexpected things that make you stop and just kind of, if nothing else, laugh about it.
Yeah. And
right.
go, what the fuck?
Yeah. And just like, yeah, what?
Hi, did that just happen? That sort of thing.
WTF.
Yep.
Yeah. WTAF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those moments, ladies. So we're going to talk a little bit about those because you're not alone. We know that this is kind of a thing, and it's more having an epiphany on things that are going on in your life, around you, that sort of thing where you're like, did that just happen? I cannot believe that just happened.
Yeah. Like, is this normal?
Yeah.
Have I lost my damn mind? I mean, all those things. Yeah.
So we want to be a little spicy about this too, because you have to have laughter around a lot of this stuff. If you don't, you're seriously going to sit there like a little curmudgeon.
Because it is what it is. I mean, it is what it is.
As she sits here and drinks her seltzer. It is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you ever had brain fog?
Yeah. I mean, let's talk about that.
Well, I've never been able to differentiate between brain fog and just being ditzy.
Well,
because I have that reputation. But
that's a valid point, Jules.
Hey, my keys, yeah, that kind of stuff. But truly, it's like, I think it's that self-diagnosed ADHD too, I'm just going to say. But those are things where I feel like the brain fog, like sometimes I'm not like completely present.
There's a lot of memes on the socials about this.
Yeah.
And they use that song by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Do you remember? La, la, la. And then the music gets all screechy and weird because you like find yourself standing in the kitchen, totally forgetting why you're there.
Oh, yeah.
We've all had those moments.
Yeah. And so I guess the one point to make here is that you guys are not alone. It's like every week, especially if there is a holiday. Some of you might experience this. If there's a holiday in the week that throws off like the week, meaning Monday is a holiday. And so all of a sudden now I'm off for the rest of the week. I think Thursday's Wednesday, the weekend comes and I feel like yeah. So that is, maybe it's because life is fleeting and is passing before us so quickly. I don't know, but that seems to happen.
That must be what it's like in retirement. I mean, I'm not there yet. But,
no, God, no.
Mix these two. The whole menopause thing, and when you get to retirement,
and everything blends together. Yeah,
I mean, that's got to be one big clusterfuck.
I know. I don't want that to happen. I don't want to have everything blend together. But I mean, like being on permanent vacation, you know how much money? I would spend so much money. I need to be well prepared when that time comes, I think, because I have a feeling I will like want to redecorate everything. So I wonder if we could get our listeners to tell us what their weirdest things are that they've forgotten lately. That might be something we have to post.
Brain fog moments.
Yeah.
I had a friend once that told me she put her remote control in the refrigerator.
Yeah, I've done that.
What?
Yeah, I have. I've done that.
Have you really?
I put this is just last week. I put my coffee cup, like I made my coffee and probably thought I was putting the creamer back into the fridge, and I put my coffee cup. So I'm looking all over for my freaking coffee, and it was in the fridge.
Okay, I have went to put toothpaste on my toothbrush and grabbed my BB cream because it's in like a tube and it's upside down. I have it standing there on the counter.
Did you put it in your mouth?
Yeah. No. Oh. I didn't. I caught it. I was like, what are you doing, Michelle? That is not the toothpaste tube.
So some of this might come with also just being like really busy. I kind of I use the analogy of when your cup is really full and your cup runneth over.
Yeah.
It's like, this is like your brain running over. You know, when you have your hands in so many different things, that stuff just falls off the top. You know, the unimportant things, I guess, just kind of fall off the top.
But it really is a part of menopause.
Yeah.
I mean, it truly is a symptom. Those things do happen.
Yeah. But that menopause is a whole nother topic.
Yeah, I know.
Actually,
so we're not going to get into it, but.
And we're going to actually have an expert come and talk to us a little bit about some of those things, because I never really paid attention. I had no idea. All I knew was this damn hot flash thing. And I was miserable. And I got teased, which is just even more insane. Oh, she's flashing.
Yeah,
you know?
that does happen.
And I'm like, damn, it's like, don't make it worse. So anyway, I kind of along with that, it's like, I think that your body sometimes starts betraying you.
That's part of the body. Yeah, that's a good word, the body betrayal.
Yeah. So things like allergies, like, have you had allergies that you didn't have before?
But I hear people say that all the time.
Yeah.
I never used to have allergies, but here they are.
Or they have now that can't eat gluten.
Yeah, there's.
You know, they were always able to eat gluten, but then now they can't. I ask myself about those things.
Part of all the food stuff that goes on nowadays. And that's, again, a whole other episode, which we will not get into. But
I know I was just saying, okay, back in the 1800s, did they have food allergies?
No.
Well, they might have and they didn't know.
But not like it is today.
Kind of like they could have had cancer and they didn't know.
Every child is allergic to peanuts now.
I know.
I mean, really.
It's totally off subject, but just for a second here, I'm in a lot of old homes, right?
Yeah.
I love these old homes, these turn-of-the-century homes and everything. Their closets, literally, Michele, you could not even put like 5 of your things in. And Michele has her closet pretty full.
Yeah. And you can't stand up in them because of the slanted roof thing.
Can't slant. But that's back in those days, which was way before we were ever around. It's, you know, they had like 4 dresses, maybe, and a couple pairs of shoes, maybe, and some like undergarments that were, you know, practical.
Yeah.
And, you know, all this shit. It's like, basically, you know, this is how people lived.
Yeah.
Very simple. So we're in a different place now. We have definitely added a lot more to our social agendas and to our family agendas and everything. So that's where I think some of that comes from. But yeah.
Back to the body betrayal.
Back to the body betrayal.
Have you ever there's the sneezing and I mean, let's just get real. Wedding, you do a little bit of wetting of the pants, right? Or you got to cross your legs so you don't do that when you sneeze, or your back goes out because you sneeze. I mean, there's all those things.
Oh my God, we're sounding so old.
Well, we are. God damn it. We're on the later part of midlife, right?
I know. Well, and so there's ways to fix some of those things, right? Because
Kegels.
Kegels. Yeah, Kegels. Your Kegel exercises, and they actually have like, it's actually good for sex too. They have like these whole like series where you're doing, of course I'm seeing a lot of this on Instagram, but you're doing these exercises. Basically, you look like you're having sex.
Strengthening your pelvic.
Yeah.
Floor.
But you know, you're just watching TV or something
They
instead.
have toys for that too.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, I'm sure she'll get into
Strengthen those muscles.
And then body betrayals, like, you know, like we were talking about.
Sweating at night.
Yeah.
What about that?
It sucks.
Yeah.
And that is something that I remember not really kind of understanding. You wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm soaking wet. And then, you know, you go outside in the middle of the night to cool off in the middle of winter.
And I guess we're talking about all this, ladies, because you're not alone. It is part of midlife. You're not a one-off. This is normal stuff. It's normal.
I know. But, you know, here's the thing. It's normal, but nobody really talks about it.
That's why we're talking about it.
I know, because it's not super sexy.
It's not, but it can be. It's whatever you make it.
I know. Well, right? I mean, I think that's why people don't talk about stuff like that. We do amongst women.
Yeah, exactly.
And we have our women tribe here, right? So we can talk about all this shit and they're going to go, oh God, girl, I get it, you know, or, oh, I don't want to deal with that. You know, you may have seen your mom go through some stuff, or you're starting to experience things, but it's not just about menopause. I think a lot of it is that, you know, we're in the place in our lives where you're doing so much for so many people, and yourself you put yourself on the back burner. And so
body is changing. It's part of the bigger part of the picture and the whole dynamic.
Have you felt like with a lot of that, like when you're in your period, I was talking with a young woman who's very close to me, who has this thing where we talk about, she's like, oh, my period's going to be coming, or, oh no, I'm in my period, or no, my period's was last. It's like she literally has one good week a month.
I've noticed that with because, I have 4 boys. So there's younger women in their life, obviously. And I noticed that they're talking about when they're on their period and this, that, oh, I'm cramping. And in my mind, I'm thinking, good Lord, weren't you just doing that like last week?
I know, but here's the thing, Michelle. It's like the same thing happened with us, but it's like I just never even paid attention. I just went, oh God, I feel sick again.
Yeah.
But and those kinds of things create a different level of emotion. You're not able to handle as much maybe on some of those days, or you're crying for no reason.
And not feeling so great about yourself. I mean, let's be honest, you're like releasing a shit ton of blood most of the time.
Yeah.
From not the best place to be doing it from.
Right.
And you're walking around still trying to feel beautiful and sexy, and you got all that going on. And it brings a lot into play on top of the emotional factors that's going on with your body.
Ooh, you want to be really bold? Wear white pants.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Wear some white trousers or a white dress or something,
Not a lot of that happening.
Yeah. I can remember being like, so I wouldn't say stressed out, but just like a lot going on, a lot of moving parts. And the kids always made a joke about how I'd be like, take care of this. Or I'd be like talking to Tom, like, take care of this, go to your room, blah, 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 blah. And then the phone would ring and I'd be, hello, this is Julie. I was like a different person when I answered. Beat. Yeah. Not missing a beat. I'd answer the phone and nobody would know otherwise. There's jokes about realtors that are like this too.
Really? Yeah.
Oh yeah. How they're all, like jamming out to their beats, blah, blah, blah. And then their client calls and goes,
professional.
Of course, I'd be happy to help with that. Yeah. Yeah. And I've done that too.
Yeah. We do that in life.
I know.
Yeah. We do that in life. And I can think back of, times where, it was super emotional with my kids. And I did, yell at them. And my kids...
You yelled at your kids?
Well, they joke about me flipping a coffee table once.
Oh, you must have been pissed.
And I did do that.
Yeah.
I did. And I threw my phone at the wall.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. But yes.
But did it feel good?
Well, I just told them better these things than you.
I know.
Right? Okay, you're lucky I didn't throw you against the wall.
I know any family or any woman, any family, I should say, who says, oh yeah, that stuff doesn't happen. They're lying. They are so not being truthful. That's cap. And that's a new word I've learned.
Oh, cap?
Yeah. No, it's not a word I'm going to use.
And that's always like summertime too, with the screens open, your windows are open and the screens are open. I'd always be very aware of how much I was,
Well, I think that's when the kids would pop off more.
Yeah. I'm just like, then you can send them outside. Yeah. Get out of here.
Yeah. I think the one thing too that might be noticeable to some of our listeners, certainly is to me, is the social shifts that we've started to notice. Like Michelle and I joke about how, she gets up super early for work. And in the summertime, I'll get up earlier than I do maybe in the wintertime, just because the sun will wake me up and I'll be more happy about being up. Or I'm just like, hey, it's 9:30. You can get to bed. Michelle, you got to get to bed. Or I've got a friend who I was just talking with him last night and I was like, okay, I'm coming home from my dance class, which by the way, on the episode that I can't remember what episode number it is. It's the one we dropped a couple weeks ago. I was talking about how I was going to make Michelle go with me. And I didn't even make her go with me. I just did it on my own.
She's being a big girl.
I was being a big girl. And it's totally fun. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, I've noticed those social shifts. And so like this friend of mine's like, let's go grab a drink. And I'm like, I'm already home in my jammies. He's like, you're so lame. And I was like, well, I tried to be spontaneous and I like to plan a little bit.
It's easier to do that now, though, don't you think?
I don't even care now.
Yeah, you hit midlife, you're going through a lot of things, earlier on in midlife. And then you kind of get up into your 50s and you're moving through things. And then you just get to this point where you have no patience for bullshit, right? You are able to, like you just did, say no. Unapologetically. I mean, I'm sure you apologize, but I mean, really,
it gives me so much shit.
Yeah, like, no, I won't be doing that. And you just told me about another situation where you politely declined, like, no, no, not going to do that. Don't feel like it.
Super cute, though.
Oh,
but I declined anyway, just because follow through sucks. That's a whole dating conversation, but whatever.
And then there's a lot of moments for me where even at work, I'm like the oldest person. I'm the oldest person there, but it's a lot easier for me now, for whatever reason, to own that.
Yeah.
I guess because it is what it is. But with all of that comes the experience that you get as you move on through midlife. And because you're able to weed out and not have the patience for the BS and be able to say no, you're setting more boundaries, you're doing the things you want, you're not feeling bad about things that bring you joy, all of those reasons. It's easier to own that. It comes along with that age bracket.
I think there's a balance though, because owning things like that and just saying, yeah, no, that's not for me or whatever, that's totally fine. I totally get that. But then you run into people who are so set in their ways or they're so done with everything that you just want to give them a big hug because they seem so like stuck. And so I think there's a balance between those two things. I can think of this one contractor that I was working with. It was just such a curmudgeon. And I just was like, why are you so crabby? He's like, oh, the people cut me off on the freeway. And I'm just like, dude, seriously, you need to smoke a joint or something. You need to calm down a little bit. I don't know what's going on with you, but yeah, I don't want to be that person that ends up being that old person.
But that has to do, I think, with other factors that you allow into your life to affect your emotions, right? I think there's a difference between that, how you choose to handle things. And that's a thing, like owning it and how you handle yourself.
Yeah.
There can be a classy way to do that.
Yeah.
As a spicy midlife woman.
Yeah, like, oh, hell no. That's really classy.
Yeah.
But I did have a nice compliment from somebody today that I was like, oh, kind of like a little pat on my back. She's 22, 23 years old. And we were just talking about, I don't know, we were talking about different things. And she was like, I've told my friends about you. I told them I want to be like you when I'm your age. She's kind of a mature 23-year-old, kind of can talk with adults, so to speak. So she's not like maybe some kid who can't carry on a conversation or gives you that Gen Z stare or whatever.
Yeah.
But she thought Gen Z stares were annoying. I had to ask her about that too. And she was like, I just think it's when people are lazy.
I have to agree.
You are my person.
Yeah,
I'm telling her, you're my person.
sure.
You're just, 23. So anyway, but yeah, I think it's about just kind of not worrying about what the outcome is going to be beyond what your decisions are for yourself. That social shift that you start to see. You have more preferences, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think that's actually, it's kind of you defining, okay, I've tried all these different things. I've done all these things. I've been these things for other people. So now I'm just kind of like doing it for myself.
It's the landing strip.
Yeah.
For where you're at. You've kind of come to that point and,
there's another.
Yeah, we're not talking about that landing strip. I said it.
Like,
I have a feeling
about the landing strip.
I'm going to regret using that term. Yeah, exactly. No, I'm talking about the landing strip of life.
Okay.
Not the pubes. Okay. Different one.
Different landings.
But I think something to remember as we've talked about all these WTF moments that there are is to kind of utilize them as an empowerment tool.
Yeah.
Right? Because as you go through midlife, you're evolving, you're growing, you're changing, you're getting rid of, just like we were just talking about, getting rid of expectations, whatever they are, socially or whatever. And, the moments, as weird as they can be, like putting your remote control in the refrigerator or forgetting why you walked into a room, you're just, you're kind of waking up. At least you're aware, you're recognizing those things. You're alive and
you're laughing and you can laugh at yourself.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Midlife is messy.
Midlife can be messy for sure. But it's like, I think that just the joy of kind of going, I'm here and I'm doing it and it's funny. And I'm kind of a ding dong, but who cares?
I always use the term sometimes with my boyfriend or even my kids. I'm like, yes, it's me. I'm here for your entertainment purposes. Because they do get a good laugh out of some of this shit.
Well, I would love to have our listeners DM us if they are so inclined.
That would be great.
Let us know what their WTF moments might be in midlife or even just kind of transitioning in when they're listening to the podcast, because there's some really juicy ones out there.
Oh yeah, more than what we've just talked about. As far as DMing us, go find us on all the socials because we are there, Spicy Midlife Women, and we've got fun pages. So if you like what you're listening to, please tell your friends about us, those other Spicy Midlife Women, and share give us a follow. And that's where you can DM, because we would love to hear some of your midlife WTF moments.
If any of this resonates with you, you're going, oh my God, that's so me.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you there's
Slide into our DMs, ladies.
Yeah. We won't take it personally.
No, we won't. We won't.
Anyway, okay, until next time then.
Yeah, we're wrapping it up. Just keep the WTFs on the forefront and just have fun with them, ladies.
Yep. Okay, ladies.
Until next time. Yep. Keep it spicy.
All right. Bye.